Hello everyone, I am Professor Nayan Asne, Department of Information Technology, Parvatibai Genba Mose College of Engineering, Vagoli. So we'll start today with the third unit of BE of the subject SDM, that is Software Designing and Modeling. So your third unit is Interaction and Behavior Modeling. The content in the particular unit is first is the activity diagram and its all notations with symbols and content. Second is your sequence diagram. Third is your collaboration diagram, and fourth is your state diagram. So in this unit we'll see the interaction and behavioral modeling with these four types of diagram: the activity diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, and state diagram. So again I will just introduce you the UML structure to understand the basic difference of the behavioral diagram and the structural diagram. So this unit will focus on your behavioral diagram. So first, in the behavioral diagram always come the use case. After the use case we are having the activity diagram and interaction diagram. Now in the interaction diagram we have sequence diagram and communication and collaboration. And the last one is the state machine diagram for this particular unit. So this particular unit always focus on the behavioral diagram containing activity diagram, interaction diagram, state machine diagram. Interaction diagram will have two diagrams in it. The first is the sequence diagram and second is the communication diagram, also known as collaboration diagram. So let's start with the behavioral and interaction modeling. What does it actually mean? So the behavioral modeling shows the interaction between the object to produce some particular system behavior using the or we can say the specified use case, by using the specified use case. So the use case is the basic need to understand the system, that is the behavioral modeling. Use case is the basic thing. Example of the behavioral modeling is, as discussed earlier, activity diagram, interaction diagram. Interaction diagram again contain the sequence diagram and collaboration diagram. Collaboration diagram also known as the communication diagram. And the third one is the state diagram. So the basic of behavioral modeling starts with the use case, proceed with the above diagram. Now comes to the interaction diagram. The interaction diagram interaction diagrams are as a part of the behavioral diagram used to model the dynamic aspect of the system. They help you to visualize how the system runs. The objective of the interaction diagram is to show how a set of objects accomplish their required actions and interactions with the actor. So the interaction diagram shows the communication between the objects by using some method calls, by using the messages, or we can say sending the messages over the network. So the interaction diagram communicates between the different object by using the method calls and by using the messages sending over the network. So all this communication is referred as message. There are two types of diagram, as we said. First is the interaction and second is the communication, or we can say the collaboration. So the interaction diagrams commonly contain the rules or the object, collaboration or the message links. Like other diagram, interaction diagram may contain some nodes and constraints also. So the interaction diagram will say in after second part of this unit. First we'll focus on the behavioral modeling. Okay. So the following things need to be identified clearly before drawing the interaction diagram. The first thing is the object taking part into the interaction. Second is the message flow among that objects. Third is the sequence in which the message are flowing. And fourth, the object organization. So how the object are organized, how they are taking part into the interaction, how the message flow between one object to another or among the different object, and what is the sequence of that particular message. So these all things to be understand clearly before you are drawing the interaction diagram. Now firstly we'll see the behavioral diagram. The first behavioral diagram is the activity diagram. Always understand interaction diagram is a part of behavioral diagram. So in behavioral diagram, the first diagram which we are going to see is the activity diagram. So the activity diagram is basically a flow chart to represent the flow from one activity to another. The activity can be described as an operation of the system or any functionality of the system. The basic purpose of this activity diagram is to capture the dynamic behavior of the system or to capture the dynamic aspect of the system. It is also called as the object-oriented flowchart. So it describes the flow of the control of the target system, that is how the control will flow from one activity to another, exploring some business rules, some operations, or describing the use cases or the business process. So the purpose of this activity diagram is first to draw the activity flow of the system, how the activity will take place or how the control will flow from one activity to another in a system. Second is to describe the sequence from one activity to another, and third is describe the parallel, branches and concurrent flow in the system. So which activities or the functions are running parallelly or which function is branching, that means navigating or creating or concurrent flow in the system. So these all things will be understood by using the activity diagram. So first let us see the notations under the activity diagram. The first you can see the dot symbol. A solid dot is the initial step. So whenever you are drawing activity diagram, the first thing should be initial state. Always start with the initial step. The second is the action. We can say the activity, that is the action box. Any functionality can be written in the action box, or we can say activity. This is also called as the activity. Third is your decision box. It is nothing but the diamond, where whenever there is a situation where there is a one or more ways, alternative ways, so you have to use decision box there. And the last one is the final state, that is a solid box over a circle. So this should be the end step of your activity diagram. So these are the notations of activity diagram. One solid dot called as the initial step, one action box, that is also called as the activity. Any functionality can be noted as an activity. Third is the decision, that is the number of, if there is a number of alternative ways available, you have to draw the decision box. And third and fourth one is the final state, that is a solid dot over a circle. So now let's see the components. The components of the activity diagram. First is the activity. So activity is the behavior decided or divided into one or more actions. The behavior of the system can be divided into one or more actions, that is called as the activity. So the activity are the network of nodes that are connected by the edges. Okay. So it can be action node, it can be a control node or the object node. In the previous notation we have seen the action box. It is called as a activity. So the behavior of the system can be divided into number of activities, number of actions or activity, you can say anything, but the activity will be the proper word for the activity diagram. So the behavior of the overall system can be divided into the number of activities which transfer control from one activity to the another by using the edges. Edges is nothing but the link from one activity to another, or we can say connected from one activity to another. So the nodes can be anything. The activity node can be anything. It can be an action node which represent the action. It can be a control node which represent the control of activity. And the third object node, it is nothing but to describe the object used inside the activity. Okay. So the node can be action node, control node or the object node. The edges shows or indicated the path or the flow between the activities, the flow execution between the activities. The activities always start with the initial node and ends with the final node. This is about the activity. The second component is the activity partition, or we can say swim lane. So the activity partition or the swim lane is the high level grouping of a set of related actions. A single partition may refer many things, such as it can be a classes, it can be a components, it can be a use case, it can be a interfaces. So whenever there is a set of classes which are performing some similar functionality or having some similar actions that are grouped into a particular frame, that is also called as a partition, or we can also say it as a swim lane. So if the partition is not clearly understandable, so what you can do, you can just name the partition on the top of the activity. We'll see it in a diagram, so you can easily understand the partition. You can just remember one thing: partition is nothing but a group of components. The components may be the classes, use case, interfaces, or system components that perform some similar activity. That is called as a partition, or we can say swimlane. The next component is a fork. So the fork is nothing but it represents the concurrent flow within the system or within the activity. We can say using a fork and join nodes, the concurrent flow within an activity can be generated. So the fork node has one incoming edge and number of outgoing edges. So similar to one to many decision parameters. So when the data arrives at incoming edge, it is duplicated and split across the number of outgoing edges simultaneously. So the fork is nothing but it has single input and multiple output, that is within the activity. So if the activity is having a single input and multiple output, so that is called as a fork. That is single incoming flow is divided into the multiple parallel flow. Next is a join. So join is opposite to the fork, that is it has the many incoming edges and single outgoing edge. It just performs the logical AND operation. Okay. So it helps you to synchronize the input flow across a single output edge. So number of input is given to an activity and the activity will only show a single output without more conflicting the situation. So these are the four components of activity diagram. So now let's see. Last one is the pin. The pin is an activity diagram that has a lot of flow, gets very complicated and messy. So the pins are used to clearly things up. It provides a way to manage the execution flow of the activity by sorting off all the flow and cleaning up the messy things. So if an object node that represent one input or an output from an action. So both input and output pins have precisely one edge. So pins are nothing but the input and output representation of a particular object node. So let's see it diagrammatically. So this is the activity diagram of the patient management system. Here we always start with a solid dot, or we can say circle. So the initial step is here. Then the patient takes the appointment. So this is called as the activity. Again, there is a decision. So there is a number of ways. If the doctor is available, then the patient will be get consult. If the doctor is not available, then it will go to the end state. Now this is called as a decision box, where we have different two ways. Patient takes the appointment, but if the doctor is available, then the patient will be get consulted. If doctor is not available, then will directly go to the final state, because the patient will be not treated by the other doctors. So again, when the patient is consulted and if some operation is needed, so if the patient needs to be operated, so again there is a one decision box. If the patient needs to be operated and if the patient needs to be not operated. If the patient needs to be operated, then it goes to under operation. So the surgeon will perform particular operation. Patients get operated and again they will check if the patient is good enough to go or not. If the patient is not good enough, again the doctor will consult. If the patient is good enough after the operation, then it will get the discharge. Okay. After for undergoing the surgeon will operate the patient. The nurse will assist the surgeon. So these are the number of activities which will take under the operation and are connected to the undergoes operation, because while operating a person, there will need a surgeon to operate. So the surgeon will be the separate activity in this particular diagram. If you don't want to perform, if you don't want to give these two activities, it is okay, because it depends on a particular system or particular individual to how many activities he or she needs. Okay. So this is the activity diagram. I hope you have understood the concept of activity diagram. If you have any doubts, you can comment in comment box, or you can just ask in a Zoom session. So some more examples we'll see laterly. Thank you.